Okay. Hey guys, how's it going? It's Miyoko from Japan. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm live from Fukuoka Prefecture, Japan. How are you all? The typhoon is so crazy right now. Like it started to be stronger, and I hear a lot like strong wind. It's kind of scaring me, but I hope I will survive this one. Maybe due to that, the internet is like it might be, I don't know, messed up or something. I do see the internet like cable right there in front of me, like they're shaking with the what with the wind. So anyway, hello Yoka, hello all, hello Yoko-san, Hiedo-san, konnichiwa, konnichiwa. So did you guys see the news of oh wait, my producer, my husband, is telling me to tell you to subscribe to this channel and also hit the like so that my channel does better on YouTube. And yes, all the juicy links in the description box. Also, I have Patreon, which I should fix, and I have this like a merchandise store too. But it's, I guess it's meant for Japanese people. Like it might cost you a lot to order. So but anyway, all the links are in the description box below. Ohio! When does typhoon season end? I think this month. Or maybe early October too. I don't know. But this one in particular, stay safe from typhoon. Thank you. This one that's coming to Japan, like it's gonna hit the entire Japan. Like it's so bizarre. Like this has never happened before. I think. But it's so huge. It's the biggest class, and usually it avoids my island, Kyushu, but it's coming directly towards us. So I know that people will be affected a lot, Sometimes I feel like when the typhoon comes, like we know from the technology, so we should all just run away, you know, hop on a plane and go somewhere, or visit the hotel somewhere, and at least we will be safe, not the house, but maybe that day will come. And speaking of which, that reminds me of, I was not gonna I was not gonna talk about it this way, but speaking of which, I saw the news of illegal immigrants in the US, putting on the bus for free, and they were sent to Martha's Vineyard and also to New York City, and yeah, especially in front of what AOC's place, and I'm like, wow. No, it was Kamala Harris place. Like they're kind of the same thing to me, but yeah. Oh man, America, enemy immigrants. What is going on with that? I should talk about that in a bit, but let me go through the comments first. Man, it's so massive outside. Good job with the short videos on your channel. I like them. Oh, thank you. I will tell you behind the scenes of that. It's my husband who's writing the script, and I'm only translating and making natural, and I do all the video thing. So it's like our babies, doing things together. So it works. Yeah, my husband is so, like, his thought process is so logical and he has a lot of knowledge. So let's combine that with what I can do. I just spot a spider there. There's another spider in the bathroom too. Like, wow. But I like spiders. They eat flies, So it's important that we have spiders. A Japanese thing. Are you guys going to be okay, Yoko? I hope so. I mean, this building is very concrete, like it's firm, and it shouldn't be affected. And we're not, like, we are higher on the higher levels, so we should be okay. But the windows are something to be, I don't know, to think about. Like we don't have shields, but we should be okay. Yes. 昼のライブ中継にやっと初参加できた。ありがとうございます。 I'm sorry to hear that. I hope your people will be safe. Doesn't Japan have the best storm draining system? Yeah, I mean, our technology has developed so much. Like we know how to deal with earthquakes, and we know how to deal with the floods, and because heavy rain has attacked, especially Kyushu area, a lot in recent years, and so after that. We have fixed a lot of the system, like for example, if there's a river, then we make sure that it's protected by concretes or rocks or whatever, and it doesn't come out easily and so on, and we have made dams. So yeah, it's a lot better than before, but I am concerned about the city and the countryside. Is the city, they have lots of like underground city, and they're developing some too, like newer ones, and they're under construction, and I don't want that to be affected because I'm looking forward to it. And at the countryside, like they have rivers, and there can be landslides, so I'm worried about that. But my place is in the middle, and yeah, we should be okay. Yoko Nobita says that Japan's immigration system is not as strict as many Westerners think. He says that it's actually very weak. What are your thoughts? Yes, I think Nobita is right, and I'm probably like I haven't seen his videos about that, but I can imagine where he's coming from because there are some incidents here in Japan that the illegal immigrants in Japan are, they're demanding their human rights in Japan. So first they come as some kind of visa to enter Japan. They may probably spend some time here, but then the visa expires or the visa is like caught that it's not appropriate, and then they are told to leave Japan, right? Because that's how it is. Like if you don't have the right qualification to be here, you don't deserve to be here. Like you don't meet the criteria, it's laws, and you have to make sure that you fulfill all the criteria, and if you don't, you gotta leave, because that's a system, right? But some foreigners come here, their visa is wrong, and they are told to go back home by Japan, but they refuse to do that. So then they are detained in this facility run by our money, and they get free meals, and they get to sleep on I guess, a bed, and it's pretty much like a cell, to be fair, but all they have to do is go back. But they often like don't have enough money or whatever, but they can figure that out, right? Like there must be some kind of way to do that, but some refuse to do that. And the leftist lawyers here are all like the majority are leftist, so they tell all these illegal ones here in Japan that if you get sick, then you get a free pass, like you can get out of the facility because you'll be in hospital, right? So then they get to walk free. And so sometimes they fail to do that. They do it a little too far. And there is this one woman who was she was an English teacher here, and but her visa expired or something like that, and she was detained. And then she was meeting like Japanese, I guess, it's lawyers, but she was not eating the meals, and she got sick. And the facility people, they're not doctors, and they can only tell her to just live like a human, right? And so they would do the job, but she would refuse, and then eventually she died. And her family from back home, is it Bangladesh or somewhere? I don't even know. But the family came to Japan and demanding like, "Oh, we want to know the truth," or some sort. I'm like, the truth is that she wouldn't leave Japan when she was supposed to. So basically, she killed herself. Like, willingly, and probably she had some, wrong wisdom from the leftists too. And the leftists here, like including the media, they are taking that up, and they're saying like, oh, human rights, oh, Japan is evil, and blah blah blah. I'm like, why? Like, just go back, right? And I see the same thing, pretty much the same thing happening to America. I saw the news about the immigration there and how illegal immigrants are sent to sanctuary cities, because it's sanctuary city, right? So it makes sense. It's a win-win situation, but somehow they are not welcoming that. And Obama, oh, I see a super chat. I'll get to that soon. I see. I saw Obama talking about it, and he was talking about how America is a melting pot, and America developed thanks to immigrants working hard and so forth. Like there are lots of talent from them, and they work hard and blah blah blah. Of course, but don't mix up illegal immigrants with legal immigrants. Like if you like, like, I don't even know where to begin with that. Super chat, thank you. Hello, Yoko. I love your videos. I hope you're well and Japan will do better. Thank you so much. Oh, you love my videos. Yeah, that makes me happy. Thank you. Oh, someone, thank you. Sri Lanka? Yeah, Sri Lanka. Yeah, I confused with Bangladesh, but Sri Lanka. Yes. So that happens. It's crazy. And there's another case going on right now. I think I saw that on the news recently, like yesterday or so. Crazy. When hurricanes hit Florida, they buy lumber, board up all the windows, and have a hurricane party. Cool. Yeah, I can't imagine hurricanes. That typhoon is not not as like severe as hurricanes, I think. I'm not familiar with all the scientific things. I'm more of a literature type of person. So I don't know how it happens, but it's so. But I wonder why though. Like America always get hit by hurricanes, but they can't. Like their houses are made from like woods and so on, like easily torn apart. Does that ever change? Like, or I don't know how it works. Are the houses there strong, like built stronger than the rest of America, or I don't know? Because Japanese people always develop technology, and our our buildings are so strong. Oh man, might as well send them the people who want them and voted to have them here. Yeah, what's crazy about all the illegal immigrants and how people are reacting in America is that the liberals always say like, oh, even Hillary. I saw a recent interview done with her, and ice cream. My husband is eating ice cream. But anyway, Hillary was, talking on TV, and she was talking about what? I'm so distracted by ice cream. This happens always. Like I was talking. Sorry, just I'm getting distracted, so I will go with that. But the other day, I was talking to this guy from a famous media, and I was doing the interview here, and my husband is there and distracted me, and I totally lost it, and I was blank for like a couple minutes, and I felt really bad, and it's happening too. But oh yeah, Hillary. Anyway, she was talking on TV, and she said that immigrants could we should have that spirit, to be open to all the people that come to America, and especially if they're Spanish speaking people, then they can pass the AP class and translate for the country or whatever like that. I'm like, what? But yeah, so they say stuff like that, but when as many people in America are pointing out, if that's the spirit, then do something about the those who are sent to sanctuary cities. And also, what's ironic is that liberal people, I'm friends with liberal people, so I don't want to talk bad about them, but generally speaking, liberal people say that they should be, we should be all open and tolerant to, people from outside and so forth. But they actually reject, like that's what's happening in sanctuary cities, and also me coming from another country, when I started to talk about American politics, I would comment on the news feed of like mainstream media like Fox News, CNN, or whatever I can find on Facebook, and they would say like, oh, like you're not even American, like mind your own business, and just do your country thing and not America. And that was the liberals, people from the left side attacking me. I thought that they would be nice to me, like that's the liberalism, right? For them. But no, like they just like whatever that resonates with them, and they reject all the other ideas and so forth. And that's not tolerant. And on the other hand, Christian people, for example, when I look at America, what's amazing is Christian people and their community, the community service. I'm not talking about the penalty community service, but generally speaking, like Americans, their lifestyle is kind of based on the church, culturally. And so they meet up every week on, I believe, on Sunday. And also when hard times comes, they, give meals to each other, and or make sure that everyone is safe. Like they gather, I'm assuming, like from my knowledge, I see the people gathering in church praying, and also it becomes the shelter. And and some people, like there are some Christian what is it called, like father, or someone that preaches, this guy, I forgot his name, but very famous, and he has this huge church. And that can he was actually bashed one day when the disaster hit America, because he was not letting people in instantly. But yeah, that can become like, his church could become a shelter. And that's brilliant, right? Like in Japan, we lost that because we lost the World War II, and our religious side was oppressed. So we don't have that thing anymore with the shrine and temples. But that's what tradition does. It protects us. And it's ironic that conservative people are more tolerant than people on the left side. Left side, they're coming from ego, and the conservative side, they don't think from the human awareness. The leftists, they are so human. It's my body, my choice, and they play God. But people on the right side, or conservative, they look at the world from above, somewhere else. And we, like, they understand the limit of what we can do and cannot do. And we are here to serve the community, right? So that's where we're coming from. And so it's like heart based, and it's God based, and that sort of thing. So then conservative people, or people on the right side, they are eager to contribute, to serve the society, to the community, and they're very serving. People on the right side and the left side, they just want to take, or they demand the human rights and so on. And it's not really about the contribution or service. And I think that is the biggest, root cause of everything that is happening. My body, my choice, that kind of thing. There's a mentality difference that I see. But anyway, I talk so much. I am talkative. If you have any question, leave that in the comment section. Okay, illegal immigration. That's complicated to have a green card. Has become to real American. Yeah, green card is actually easy because you just need to get married. I mean, not easy for everyone, but usually it's like it does happen, someone cannot get married in their own country, like it's hard for them, and then some foreigner comes and it creates that they want the green card and it works sometimes. Lizards are better than spiders. Yeah, I love them both. I love spiders. Yeah, you guys are from the country of Spider-Man. Isn't it weird, Spider-Man, when you think about it? It's a spider. So weird. But I love that movie though. The Wall Street Journal ran an article about how people lined up to pay respects to Queen Elizabeth are from every country in the British Commonwealth. They immigrated to London, very diverse. Nice. Yeah, I wonder what will I wonder what will happen to the UK. Huh. Um, it's like, because Scotland, are they going to get independent? Now the UK will leave the EU, right? And then if Scotland just starts say like, oh, we don't like we don't want to be here anymore, and if they got independent, that would be bad, like good for them, but for the world order, like because we need the UK, the United Kingdom. Stay safe, Yoko. Praying for you and Japan. Oh, thank you. I hope the storm weakens. Me too. Usually, when there's a huge typhoon in the south, it comes up, but like comes up to the north, like around here. But by the time it hits here, usually it shrinks and it becomes weak. But this one hasn't lost its power. So Martha's Vineyard Public Housing said there's no room for immigrants. I saw that. But people online are reporting there are plenty of rooms available on Airbnb. Yeah, I saw that coverage on Fox News. Like, so what does that make them though? Are they lying? Like they are liars? That's like they don't want to become liars on TV. Like that's like you don't want to. Oh man, I wonder what's going to happen. Always seem like the people that love Japan have trouble going in, and the people that hate Japan have an easy time of it. I agree. I agree. There are lots of liberals here, being English teachers and so forth. I mean, but I guess that conservative people could be a little, too proud to become an English teacher here. The sad part of being English teachers here is that when you go back to your country, you can't really get a job, right? Like it's not gonna look good on your resume unless you teach somewhere, I guess. And yeah, but liberal people do that here, and they marry Japanese people and stay here, and of course they're from another country, so their cultural background or beliefs or the values are different from us, and they like the people that I have met here, it's so rare. I only know like really a couple of people from overseas that are like, aside from like political people are cool, but like regular people that I've met, when I was just studying in English, like it's rare to meet those who have true respect. They have this condescending tone always, and they're looking down on us, and I can tell. And so yeah, and it's like for them, country is just a container, with like it's rather an amusement park for them. There are different locations in the world, and you can go there and you can enjoy what's there. Like things are different in each country, but they don't care, they just want to play. And they don't respect the country. So conservative people, I guess, are responsible. That's their spirit. So to leave the country that they love, it's hard. And another thing is they will think about the career, right? Like work career. And so, yeah. There's actually a photo of from Martha's Vineyard of illegals being feed cereal like that area is wealth. Where is the stake? Did you see Tucker Carlson talking about it? Like before I came on, I was like, while getting ready, I was listening to Fox News, and I checked out what Tucker Carlson had to say, and he was making fun of that too. And he was like, "Oh, what do people from those areas eat?" Like, I don't know. Like he was doing like it's he's so like on point and so political, and it's important, and he's making great sense, great points. But at the same time, part of me receives Tucker Carlson as like a stand-up comedian who is on point, and he's so funny. Anyway, becoming a Japanese citizen is very hard, especially for Americans, because Japan doesn't allow dual citizenship, and get rid of US citizenship is very hard and expensive. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, it should be that way, isn't it? Do other countries allow dual citizenship? One of our liberals, actually, the National Diet member from originally from Taiwan. It's She's from Taiwan, but Taiwan has like outsider Taiwanese and insider Taiwanese, like original people. So probably the outsider, from the mainland. But yeah, she's rather a communist. China's bad. There's a Diet member like that. She was originally an idol on TV and so on. But yeah, she had dual citizenship because she is half Taiwanese, and she was still doing the national diet. Like I guess she was already a national diet member, and then it turned out that she had dual citizenship, and so she was massively criticized. But yeah, the mixed people here in Japan, they suffer a lot, like which one to get, which nationality. It is hard. I'm as an Indonesian was following a rule of country if I become a citizen. Yeah, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. When in Japan or America, elsewhere, you have to follow the rules. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Whoa, the wind. Real another case. If some foreigner came without visa and passport, they under arrested and wait for the embassy in Indonesia. Oh, I see. Yeah, they get caught. Yeah. Florida bills better. Cool, cool, cool. Illegal immigrants are often given more financial aid than many nations' own citizens. Yeah. It's also worth nothing that most of our refugees are young men who are fleeing nations that are not at war. Yes. And yeah, it's like they like being detained sucks, but you get at least you are in a safe place with a bed, and you have your own space, and you get three meals like three times a day. And yeah, so it's the same reason for older people here, actually. Like some older people cannot afford it anymore, and they shoplift or something, and or like they do like small crimes and do them many times or some sort, and they get caught in jail, and yeah, they spend some time there, or they're sent to prison. Yeah, and so that way they can live there, instead of having a hard time making it by or your own. So yeah. And as for the illegal immigrants in Japan that are detained, in the meantime you're detained, you can file the document as a refugee, and if it's not permitted, then you can do it again and again and again, and it has become a problem because in the meantime you can stay here, in like you're detained, but you can't do that. So there are many problems that even Japan is having. So I can't imagine what America is going through. I read in the today's newspaper that there are 3 million illegal immigrants that are rushing into America under Biden administration. And now, before the midterms, now people are realizing, even Democrats are realizing, that it doesn't work. So it's a good message before the midterms, I think. Like, it's so political and it's so meant for the election, and I can see that. But the way that American people fight politically is very interesting because it's it's war, But Japanese people, we just follow the system, and we just appeal to people, like, I don't know, like, it's not creative or anything, and we don't play like we are in a war either, so it's good and bad at the same time. Yeah, ice cream, no belly rub for the producer. Yeah. He's smiling right now. Yeah. Oh no, he left a comment. I'm eating ice cream. Many of the politicians that preach diversity don't want it in their neighborhoods. Yeah. What's interesting about liberals is that they say, like, not everyone, but there are many liberals that just care about their life. It's like, it's not like black supremacy or anything, but they're, oh, I should put that down on the balcony. 物干しさをね、下げないといけないですよ。So, yeah, they are like me, 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 and it's all about them and what they think is the best. And so, I think the symbolic thing that happened so far is BLM. One of the BLM co-founders, that she owned this, like, she bought this luxurious house, right, with the money that she got through the organization, and she is sued by the rest of the BLM people or some sort. But yeah, and so that just explains, I think, how people are on among those people. They care about, they say, like, oh, let's be open to foreigners or immigrants because that's how we should appear. But they don't want to be that. It's the fashion. It's the fashion. Libs are only nice when you agree with them. Yes. Yeah. Okay, let's go to the bottom because I'm reading so slowly. Hello, 生配信やってくれてありがとうございます。来てくれてありがとうございます。Thank you. Hi, Yoko. Hello. You mean Renho? Yes. You know it. Yes, yes, yes. She, Renho, had dual citizenship. I heard that DeSantis might get charged of human trafficking for the informal way he got all the immigrants to be transferred to the sanctuary cities. Huh. Human trafficking. Oh yeah, I kept hearing that on the news when I check that out. What part of it is human trafficking? Like, yeah, the left, like, I saw the montage, like, the left was saying that it's like, people like DeSantis is using the immigrants, like illegal immigrants, as political pawn, or he or they are playing with those immigrants, like toys and stuff like that. But I'm like, if you truly, truly care about the people, the illegal immigrants, then they should be better off there in the sanctuary cities. Because that's what they kept saying. Like, are they saying that it's not good for them, or are they talking about like they should be happy at the end of it all, don't you think? But they're complaining like, oh, I just don't like that guy, like how he did it, but they're not thankful for the result either. So I'm like, then are you saying that you don't believe in what you were saying before? Like, what is that policy look like? I don't get it. America allows dual citizenship? I didn't know that. Wait, so if you have dual citizenship, then you should just live in America and be American so that you will keep Japanese one? I'm so confused. Hmm. Canada and Israel allow dual citizenship with America. Huh. Oh, okay. So it's limited to some countries, I guess. The US doesn't recognize it and taxes them like Americans on worldwide income. Ah, I didn't think about the taxes. Huh, interesting. Tucker is great, very informative, and also very funny. Yeah. I wish we had people like him. There's people here, like opinion leaders here, that, make fun of things, but then their level goes down. Like they're not professional. It's just, it's not even criticism when that happens. And I don't like it because it's so low. But Tucker Carlson, he keeps his class, and he gets to do that, and it's talent. It takes talent to do that. Thank you for your warnings about typhoon. Yeah. I mean, there's not much that we can do about the typhoon. Like, we just have to wait for it to pass. Hurricanes are the same thing as typhoons, but instead located in Atlantic Ocean region. Really? Ty- Hurricanes, like when I envision hurricanes, it's like more like, and it's like you can literally see that. But typhoon is just heavy rain and it's wide, and I don't know. I don't think it's the same thing, is it? I'm confused. Yoko, did you hear that Steve Bannon was arrested and prep walked by the DOJ? I think I saw that. Like, I did see. Oh wait, no, I saw about the FBI thing. Like, I saw Steve Bannon talking about 35 people or so. Like they are gonna get raided, or they did get raided by the FBI or something like that. No, I'm not sure about Steve Bannon. Let me look that up. Steve Bannon. Steve Bannon says blah blah blah. Steve Bannon charged with fraud over border wall fundraiser. Oh, that's from a week ago. Former Trump aide Steve Bannon pleads not guilty to border wall scam charges, ordered to surrender passports. Oh, I see. Man, all this when people arrest like big guys like him, it's not really about the crime, right? And it's the timing too. It's before the midterms, and it's for politics. It's for election, and so I hope that people have that literacy. Yeah. But it's prep walked. Mm-mm-mm-mm. UK already left the EU. Oh, okay. They're now talking about some kind of new arrangement that would include the UK and Ukraine for trade purposes. Cool. Man, speaking of Ukraine, just remember like a different topic, but there are some people from Ukraine that escaped from to here to Japan, but they don't even speak the language. They don't even speak Japanese, and they fled from Ukraine to Japan. And now the media is talking about how to support them, and like it's like we have to change for them kind of thing. And I actually know that the local university here, like the owner, she's all about making money, and also she wants to stand out because she's ego based. But her university also, like, it's very low level too, but she accepted many people from Ukraine and so on for her appearance. Like, I can see that, and it's good. She's at least doing a good thing. But then um is it actually good for the people from Ukraine? Like, Japan is, the majority of us are Japanese, and our culture is so much different from the rest of the world, and it's the suicidal rate is very high. Like, we all want to kill ourselves. So I don't think it's a good idea to come here, right? But yeah, once it's okay to come once, but living for forever might be a tough decision for people like that, that abruptly come here. It's good for a visit, but not just to live, I guess. So I don't know why they choose Japan. Like, I'm not trying to be an ass, but just genuinely just wondering why, that happens. But anyway. The imperialists say that America is the land of the free and everybody deserves to be free, so we can't say no to people coming here. Cheap labor goods is imperialist system, not American system. I see. I never. It's rare to have or hear the perspective of imperialists. That's interesting. Immigration and trans issues are the major problems in America right now. It's hard to explain to the left how terrifying it is to have your home country become dominated and overrun by non-natives. Yeah. Yes. It's the same thing here, though, in Japan. What I was thinking about America is maybe instead of the wall, you should make a river. I mean, you do, but like, depending on where you look at, like, I've seen a footage of a river and people are just walking to cross that to come to America. But if that is a huge river, like very wide, where people cannot, swim, walk, deep enough, then that's that would be good. I don't know. Because I imagine, like, castles, Japanese castles are surrounded by the water, and our country, Japan, is surrounded by the ocean, and that's how people cannot come illegally, like, unless you hop on the plane. So that helps, right? So I was just thinking about it randomly. I'm random. But yeah, I thought of something else to talk about, but I forgot. Liberals are always hypocrites. Wait, it is why the saying "do as I say, no as I do" is frequent among them. Frequent among them, no one treats them seriously. They are part of the loud vocal minority. Yeah. Yes. When you are your own god, like leftists, you will do anything and everything to preserve whatever you want because you are all that matters. Yeah. Yeah, you're your own god. イアン・ヘンダーソンさんの安倍晋三さんについて記事を見ました。興味ありそうと思います。イアン・ヘンダーソンわかりません。読んでないですね。 My husband doesn't know either. Martha's Vineyard is progressive leftism. One, they will advocate for policies from which they never suffer the consequences of. The minute they do those policies and immediately. Is it a like? Yeah, human trafficking is such a broad term, so it can be applied largely, a lot like mass shooting or serial killer. Yeah. The human trafficking charge is nonsense. They are illegal immigrants. They are effectively criminals and can be remanded more or less anywhere. Yes, I agree. It's like, why are you on the side of the criminals? Like, it's illegal, right? Illegal immigrants. And DeSantis just wanted to protect his place, like his where he's the governor of, and he wanted to protect the people and he wanted to stick to his policies, and those illegals are dangerous to him, right? And why is it bad that he deals with those people, those criminals? Doesn't make sense. And it's not like he wants to benefit from giving the uh, giving the or sending the illegal immigrants to other places. He has to spend his state's money, right, to send them off. So it doesn't make sense. Even the human trafficking, like, they just don't, I guess the left just doesn't like the way that it was done, that they didn't agree to how it was done. But I'm like, are they willing to understand though? Because at least those immigrants are now in Sanctuary City, and they should be protected there. But the liberals are rejecting. Hmm. I'm fascinated by how traditional and generally conservative Japanese culture is, and want to teach English there to get away from American leftists. Oh no, you gotta protect your own country, man. But I saw the footage, like I retweeted in on my Twitter, but I saw the footage of just another New York City scenery, and this black guy was, I don't know what was going on, but people were chilling and this guy was there with his backpack, and they were having on some kind of argument. And this one black guy with a backpack, he takes out he reaches to his backpack, and that's a bad sign. You have to run, but people are just there, being still. And then the guy grabs the his axe, not the spray, but his axe, and become like a killer move, and he was like destroying the walls of glass and whatever he could find, and it was so dangerous. But like, I didn't understand the reactions of the people there too. But yeah, that is something that you want to run away from, like, as for your life, not just on the spot, but you want to move away. You don't want to be living somewhere like that. And it's so strange that when I look at the footage only, if I am not told that it is America, then I would have no idea that it is America. Like, not only America but New York. Like, yeah, it's crazy to think about it, that there's nothing American about that. When I see America, for example, what I like, the image that I have of America is like, American dream, looking at Trump, for example. He was known as like a celebrity, and that he even had his own TV show, and he was rich, and he was doing successful business, and then he started to run his country as well. And it's like American dream. And another case is, let's say, for example, Tony Robbins. He started off with like a hardship growing up, but he became this amazing he doesn't like to be called as a life coach, but he is into self-development, and he talks about how to live better, and he has helped so many lives in and outside of America. And now he gives meals, free meals, to those who are seeking for help. And he was even on Fox News, I think, recently. And I love that guy. He saved me too when I was struggling back in like 2016, like when I was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis. Like I thought, like, oh, I need to get mentally strong that I can deal with this. And I kept listening to his stuff. And so when I look at people like Tony, then I'm like, wow, American dream. But what's happening in New York, liberal states, it's crazy. I don't know why. Like America is so huge that it is diverse. Like it depends on where you look at. And that's not good. That Biden said that his administration is for unity, and he should do that. All the gaps and the danger for your everyday life, it should be dealt with. you know let's see. Again, Dems want immigrants in red states because they believe they will vote blue in red states. It's not about the message of sanctuary, it's about control. Interesting. So both sides want to send illegal immigrants to each other, basically, to see how people would change their mind. That's interesting. What works with America is anyone born in America gets citizenship. Yeah. Yeah, I see that in like TV shows too. Like, you know, the immigrant family comes, like the couple goes to America, and their situation is messed up, but they have a baby there in America, and then the baby has a citizenship or nationality, and then that's the family of that citizen. And yeah, I see stuff like that. America taxes all US citizens no matter where they are on the globe. One of the few countries that does that. The crazy part of that is that Google in Japan, I don't think they were paying the tax for Japan. They located their company here, and like illegal. I'm not familiar with like legal things, but there was a news about that. They were not paying for us and so on. Like they take everything, but they don't want to give. Huh. I have a friend at work who was born in Hong Kong in the 70s. He is a citizen of the USA and UK. Cool. Yeah. Actually, okay, so UK, that's interesting. All right, because at the time it's the UK. Yeah, when I was talking to Hong Kongers, until a few years back, my friend actually did have the citizenship of the UK too. So yeah, that was a better time. And I don't like it when people, like, especially the media here, I don't know about yours, but people, I mean the media here in Japan, they talk about the handover of Hong Kong from the UK to China as if it's like returned to China. And Hong Konger friends of mine kept saying that it's not that they are returned or handed, like it is handed over, but it's not returned, you know. It's just colonize from one colonization to another colonization, and went into the worst colonization. Yeah. How did Japan respond to the death of British Queen Elizabeth II? Just like any other country, I think, but our country, especially our emperor right now, our Tenno, is he studied in the UK, and also him and his wife, I think, like the, what you call that, empress, Kogo Heka, like they were close with the UK. What's the word? What's the word? Like the queen and her family. Like we're close. You know, we are both you know, Japan, both Japan and the UK. We are developed countries, and we have this system of, you know, the emperor, or a king, and so it's very similar, right? And so our situation is very similar, the premise is similar, the tradition is kind of similar, and so, and our interaction is very active. And so this time, like usually it's the prime minister that goes to funerals overseas, you know, in a situation like that, but I see that they were close with the Queen Elizabeth. So uh, our emperor and his wife, the empress, will go to the UK together this time, and not the prime minister. So that's a unique situation, but that represents how strong the bond is between Japan and the UK. And meanwhile, Xi Jinping is not invited. So yeah. あ、
プライムミニスターの金
行かないよって言ってんだよ。
プライムミニスターもともと。
Oh, originally Prime Minister doesn't go. It seems. でも天皇陛下行かないんじゃないの？うん。So usually it's not. Okay, so originally I get. It seems that Prime Minister here doesn't get to go to that level of funerals overseas, because it's the king level and prime minister. Then that's the level is too different. But still, like usually our Tenno, our emperor, doesn't go, and instead the Tenno family, our emperor family, goes. Like someone from that family goes. So yeah. Okay. The Rio Grande River separates Texas and Mexico, but the illegal immigrants swim across it. Yeah. So much energy, right? I gotta get to America. Man. Like, if they have that strength to actually swim, then I'm like, fix your own country. Like, what is happening in Mexico? Like, we keep talking about America only, but those people have their own country, right? Back home. Where is that back home? Like, do something about your country first, right? It's not like they have this American dream, like, oh, I want to be American and, you know, achieve this American dream. No, they don't have that dream, and they don't even speak English well. I know that I can beat them at English, like many of them, because you guys tell me that, and I think it's true. And it's so crazy, you know, that they just I can't, like, I'm so blessed with where I come from, right? Like, I love my country and I'm proud to be Japanese, and I don't even want to leave my country, you know, just to visit overseas is such a burden for me mentally. Like, it's like I need to be here because that's just how it is, and I just love my country that much. But yeah, but people born in Mexico, like, aren't they proud to be Mexican? And like, why aren't they fixing their own country before trying to steal what other people in other country have built? Like, that's not fair. That's just stealing, you know? And again, there are criminals like that. Like, if you truly want to be part of America, then you have to pay enough respect to fulfill all the criteria, and make sure that you have something to serve the country with. Like, Obama keeps saying that oh, America is built with immigrants and so forth, and people are talented. I'm like, do those immigrant people, like, do they have whatever that can be contributed to America, like something to be served to America? Can they even like give taxes? Because they can't even do the legal procedure to enter America. Are they gonna fill in the tax form and everything? I don't think they would. Oh man, America. They're talking about the typhoon outside. It's announcement going on. The problem with the left is that they have made politics their religion by replacing God with a state and a heaven with a socialist utopia yet to come. Good point. Thus, the ends will always justify the means. Yes. Oh, I don't see that yet. Oh, super chat. Thank you. What does it mean to be conservative in Japan? Are you asking about the definition or what it's like to be one? うん。
二つ前の動画に多分コメント
してくれたね。
あったんだよね。だから俺作ろうかと思ったんだけど
My husband was considering like to write the yeah, like we remember your comment on my previous video, and my husband is now determined to work on it, to make a video about it. So yeah, that'll be good.
だから逆に聞きたいな例えばアメリカで我々のイメージからコンサバティブリベラルのそうでガンコントロールとイリーガルイミグランツと要するに妊娠中絶
we would like to ask you instead, like right now, when we imagine like when you when we think of conservatives and liberals in the US, the controversial points are like gun control and birth control and so forth.
それからイミグラントと
And immigrant
妊
policies
娠中絶
and abortion, yeah, pro-life, pro-choice.
コンサバティブ
So that
まあ大きな
so that differentiates conservatives from liberals, and that's the image that we have.
あなた方日本のねコンサバティブリベラルの違い何かイメージするものあるか
And so, given that, what do you think is the difference between conservatives and liberals over here in Japan? Like, is there anything that you can think of? I'll make that video, just so you know. So thank you. We want to ask. In the US, conservatives are pro-gun rights and for less immigration and are against abortion. What would a conservative in Japan support? Oh yeah, so you were asking about the policies and so on. There'll be a great video, Yoko. Yeah. Any image about Japanese conservative and liberals?
あんまないから
Maybe you don't know. Maybe you have no idea. And that's why you want to know. In the meantime, I'm gonna read something. Hi Yoko, the problem is that the Democrats are doing what being called the push pull, which is to push people out of certain countries like Venezuela and then pull them into the US like magnet. Oh, they push them out to America. Huh. Interesting. It's my first time to hear that push pull. Okay. Thank you for letting me know. I guess no answer. でも反応がき、だからまあ気になるんでしょうな。こっちの見え方とそっちの、いや、同じか。I'm checking myself in my husband's screen. I'm like, it looks a little bit different, like angle wise. Like I should be in the center of the screen, but I have a table here and I'm using my cell phone here, so I can't come into the center, and that bothers me. I think American conservatism is very connected to Christianity, or used to be. Yeah, I agree. Conservatives believe the individual should decide what to do with their money instead of politicians who tax away as much as possible. Small government, greater individual. Yeah, small government, big government thing. You really be bridging the nations with that video. Most American confusion on politics is the belief everyone has the same political concerns or opinions as America does. Yeah, isn't it interesting? Because yeah, over here in Japan we don't allow guns mostly unless you're a hunter. Conservatives in the US are mostly Christian. Yeah. Yes. The last guy that I dated from America, he was liberal and his father was conservative, and so like he was my ex at the time. He would complain about his father a lot about politics, and now I look back and it all makes sense to me now. Back in the day I was not very knowledgeable, so I didn't know what was going on, but it's funny when you think about it. It's not just Mexico, it's all of South America and more. They're just desperate because their country is impossible to change against crime and corruption. Like America isn't any different from with Democrats. I can understand with like Cuba and so on, but Mexico, like you still have hope. But at the same time, countries like that, the problem is I think it's like mafia type of things, Same for Philippines. Like Philippines, when Duterte came around, like, do you remember what he did? He just kept arresting people, and it was not always correct, there were false calls too, but he just caught all the drug dealers and everything, the users, and he caught and made the country better. And he was so strong, and he was also politically doing good with China too. Like even though China is the enemy, at the same time he made sure that he can make money with them, and so he was such a politician. But Mexico, like I don't even know who the leader is there, especially because Japan is far away from Mexico. I have no idea. The only Mexico that I see is the depiction that's done in American TV shows. So like I do understand that it's right next to America, and they have a history, and also it's Mexico in everyday life of the people in the South and so on. But yeah, it's so interesting, like me coming from an island nation, things are so much different in America. Like America is like us, surrounded by the ocean, but you are connected to the rest of the continent, and things are a little bit different there. Mm. The amount of Mexican illegals has been going down for years, and now there are Mexicans going back to Mexico, then coming to America. I wonder why. Why do you think that is? Is there a reason? But yeah, like the illegal immigrants that were sent to sanctuary cities this time, they were from Venezuela and so on, and not Mexico, I think. So yeah, that's what I thought about. Hmm. Consumptive is difficult to define. One value is free market versus central planning. Would love to see how Japanese react to writings of Hayek, Friedman, or Sowell. I'm looking for my husband's reaction. まあだからフリーマーケット、自由市場とセントラルだけど、react to
いや、だからそのハイエックの話はわかるけど、そうだけどね、これはね、コンプリケートなんですよ。
My husband is, oh, yes, but it's complicated.
だからまあ日本の保守主義っていうのがまあコンプリケートなんですよね。
So Japanese conservatism is complicated, rather, he says. 難しいんだけどね。日本の保守主義っていうのはね。 Japanese conservatism?
次の動画多分2、3本になるけど、説明するけど、一番大きな争点はね、歴史に対する見方なんだよね。
The biggest point for us, like I will explain that in like 2 or 3 videos later on my channel, but it's about how we view the history for Japan. So the left, BLM, a white guild. So just like the white guilds in the US, we have war guilds or just Japanese guilds. So the leftists want to bash Japan all the time. And they believe that our history is all bad. And it's not only the World War II, it's just Japan in general. On the other hand, the conservatives want to fight back, you know, like conservative want to refute them, so they try hard by justifying and beautifying the Japanese history. But and it's like, so the conservatives here often say that, let's bring our country back to how it was before the World War II, when everything was supposed to be good, but actually before the World War II there was already the influence of communism in Japan, and they were inside of our government also. So there were already the social and communist system that was built in Japan before the World War II in order to control our people. So so just like that, like you mentioned, Brian mentioned about free market, but our system was already built by the influence of socialists and communists here. The left side always wants to destroy our order, like the society and family, and that's the order, but they want to destroy stuff like that. And on the other hand, conservatives want to fight back, and so they want to protect the society and family like as it is. like we want to maintain the order, but the foundation.
だからそのコントロールになってしまう。
But our premise right now is under this socialist and communist influence society foundation. So we are protecting that at the same time. So it's complicated.
本来の保守主義からいけば、
So
当然そのフリーマーケットを保守
the
主義からいけば
actual conservatism, of course, will be even over here in Japan. It is supposed to be about like small government and that sort of things.
そうなんだけど、現在の日
But
本
right now,
そう混乱してると。
but we are all confused
左翼と戦わない。
because we are fighting against leftists in the first place. So like leftists are proactive and we are reacting to leftists. So sometimes it doesn't all make sense, if you know what I mean.
だからその What different の between conservative and liberal を説明するときにその哲学的思想的に説明する場合
So
現実の政治で説明
when we
する場合とちょっとレベルを分けて考える。
so we have to think about like we have when we talk about conservatives and liberals in Japan, we have to, for that reason, we have to differentiate the level of how we talk about it. Like, are we coming from the philosophical point of view, of conservatism, or are we talking about what's going on in Japan and so on? So the definition is going to be tough, but my husband is going to think of the ways to let you know what it's like to be a conservative here.
だからできるだけちょっと今間接的に話すの難しいからわかりやすいビデオを作る。
So it's hard to talk to, like, my husband knows a lot and he's my mentor, political mentor, and he wants to talk to you, like, explain to you, but I'm the translator, so it's indirect and it's hard, so we're gonna make a video about it. Thank you. No one seems to mention how conservatives are just more traditional as liberals are more progressive. How is that in Japan? No one seems to mention how conservatives are just more traditional as liberals are more progressive. 保守が伝統的でリベラルがプログレッシブ。How's that in Japan? Yes. So philosophically speaking, that's how it is. Yeah, cool. Well, I didn't know about that, about Japan. Great to hear that we share the same issues. Nice. Evil cannot create anything new. They can only corrupt and ruin good forces have invented or made. J.R.R. Tolkien. Cool. That's so true. All leftists know how to do is trash everything good and right. I agree. Because they're like, this is wrong and we are against it. Let's destroy everything. Let's have a revolution. And that's how their mind works. They complain to everything, and they just, like, I'm like, just, even Biden administration right now, like, be proactive then, just think about the policy. It's easy to speak ill of, MAGA, like Make America Great Again policy, but that's the policy and vision that Trump has had. And what about Biden? He says unity and blah, 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 like open, blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, where's the vision? Like, we don't see that. And they're all about, bashing Trump and people on the right side.
最後の連中はね、アメリカの国葬 想のね、会場
Mm.
の前でデモする。
So
常識おかしいだろ。
our leftists, for example, right now, they want to destroy the state funeral for Abe in Tokyo. They are actually planning protests outside of our state funeral. How crazy is that? Like someone died, like he was assassinated, and he was the longest leader of Japan after the World War II. And what? Like that's what they do. They are, but those people when they had a press conference at FCCJ, the Foreign Correspondents Club, um, there's some foreign what you call, like a reporter asked a question saying, "Why are you guys all old?" Because they come from like a student, what you call, like a student protest, you know,
60s は
in the 60s and 70s. You know, it was the same in America, I guess, but people were against the war, and also you know, especially here, the communist type of people, they occupied universities, and they wanted to have a revolution. I guess it was the worldwide thing to have a revolution in each country, but there were leftists like that here, and so they were in the 20s or around somewhere around there, back then in 60s and 70s. So they are now old, right? Like what, 70s or so, and they're still politically active and doing the same thing, like opposing to what's there, and they want to destroy. So like they haven't grown up. Mm.
でね、一
Mm.
番下までちょっと飛んで悪いけどね、
Mm.
これが日本の財布振りがよくわかりやすい一つ。
Mm. どこ？
ナイトマックス、一番下。
Okay. Why are これ？ Why are there North Korean schools allowed in Japan? That's disgusting. I have no idea.
しかも信じられないけど、ね、
うん。
補助金まで。
そうだね。And what's worse, we are paying for them. Like we are not entirely, but we give money, like financial aid for those schools. And it depends on like each prefecture, but yes. Why?
違う。
It's yeah, it's crazy. Japanese leftists are crazy. To leftists, nothing is scared. Sacred. They are cynical, sad, and angry people. Yes. Did Hidetoshi help you change your previous hate for your country, or did you meet Hidetoshi once you stopped being a leftist? Oh, I met this dude after I understood everything. So it's after. So like I noticed that crazy riots in China, they were destroying their own place just because it was Japanese brand. And I started to wonder why in 2012, which makes like a decade ago. And at that time I didn't know anything, but finally, I was in the late 20s, so I guess I had the brain finally to understand things. And I realized that, oh, they are against us demanding our own territory, like Senkaku Islands. And because that's when the islands became Japan. I mean, like officially, with. But anyway, so that was a trigger for me, and I started to read the books of my father. He happened to be a conservative man, and he has all these books at home. So I read a lot of his books. Like he recommended me some even, and I learned about all the historical disputes like the Nanking massacre and comfort women issue and so forth. So that's something that I was working on at first in my political career. But then, of course, simultaneously, as I was talking online, I started to go to events locally, and that's when I met my husband. And I started to help him with his work, and I realized that this dude is always right, like he sees ahead in things. So I'm like, I need to stick with this guy. And we were, for at first we were just activist friends, but then I guess yeah, things change to a better situation. Yes. Like I needed to help him, you know, to protect him from his political enemies and so on. Yeah. Okay. Videos explaining why there are fights between Asian countries like Korea and Japan would be good. These different situations are confusing and untaught in the West. Yeah, just like it's the same as for me not understanding the relations between Mexico and the U.S., or with what, Venezuela or Cuba and that sort of things. I don't know the neighboring countries for you, and just like that, I guess you guys have no idea about us.
でもやっぱり一番ね、
うん
アメリカ人が理解するとね、日本ではね、共産党は合法なのよ。
Yeah, the biggest thing that you may not understand is how our Japanese Communist Party is legal in Japan.
で国会に議席を持ってる。
And they have seats in the national diet. Communists officially, legally have seats in the national diet. So Ocasio-Cortez, Bernie Sanders, they are leftists, but they're not communists. Or, but I mean, you might say that they are communists, but in Japan, the Japanese Communist Party people, they are communists, like a legit communists. Yeah.
つい昨日おとといだけ100周年お祝いしてたよ。
何の100周年？
政党が日本。
あ、もうそんなね。Oh, so just the other day, the Japanese Communist Party was celebrating their 100th anniversary since the foundation of their party.
でやっぱり日本の国内、韓国が今でも左翼っていうその冷戦がこれでも終わってないのよ。国内。
Inside of Japan and also in South Korea, our Cold War, like domestic Cold War, has been carried on. So it's the fundamental difference from the Western nations. Yeah. Yes. Hit it for the win. Yeah. Could you talk about your studies in depth sometime? What kind of studies? Like historical disputes or what? I don't know. Teach us about Japanese pirates that what can't read the coast of Asia for centuries. Ravage? Not that. Huh? Oh, I see. I see what you mean now. The Japanese. Okay. History repeats. We can look to the past for solutions to today's problems. I'm glad you have your father's old books for guidance. Yes, thank you. Yes, history is important. Like things have happened before, and we are just like you say, it's repeating. And I like to. I said this like a few weeks ago, but I like to watch the world map video. Like how it changed over the years, like thousands of years. How territorial war has been going on and so on, and like we have enough samples from the past, and but when people say like history, I guess it's too heavy for some people to understand. It's just the past, right? So we should learn from that. But some people just only know how to complain. So that's not good. But anyway, it's been an hour and a half. 1時間半経ったね。
そうですね。
We gotta go soon. Yes, yes, yes. I really appreciate that you guys come to my streams, and if you can, please share my videos that I recently posted. It's about Japan, and it's maybe I need to give more premise to what I talk about and so on. But at least if people get interests in what I talk about, that's good enough, I guess. Like if I become the entrance of people's interests, that's enough. History is often taught from biased positions, which obscures what was really going on. Yeah. So you have to, always you have to look at things from like all different sides, and look, as much as we learn history, my husband and I, we do political activities. And looking at my husband, for example, when he collects information, he talks to all different people. Some people in this world, like wherever you're from, like some people hear some kind of rumor and believes everything that the person heard from one person, and that becomes their world or their view. And that's just wrong. You have to, in order to understand what's going on, you have to go to all sorts of different all different sorts of resources to make sure of what you are seeing or hearing is right, and to build the actual image and so on. So yeah, same for history. There's officially Communist Party in USA. It's more powerful than it sounds. I used to consider myself a member. Wow, they run for president before communist or socialist parties don't get much traction. But it's legal though in America. Illegal, right? Like now they're not supposed to exist. You could do a stream in Japanese and English. How? How? Only Bae is a YouTube channel with lots of animated maps over time. Cool. Cool. It's refreshing hearing a Japanese conservative. Mostly it's liberals in the US talking about Japan being a perfect liberal utopia. It's so weird that they think that way. Why would they think that way? Because we, for example, the majority of us want death penalty. Yeah. Criminals need to die. Bad guys need to die. And that's how we believe in. So much different from like American liberals. And we should talk about that one day. It's interesting. It's always nice to catch these streams, and to be honest, with the exception of abroad in Japan, there aren't many Japanese world politics channels that I know of. You could start the niche. Yeah. I try to cover like the world. It's hard though. But mainly what we mainly do is the war against China. Like by China we mean CCP, So we actually have allies in the world, from Asia to the UK and to the US, and we are all like connected. So, and actually, our friends overseas, like the majority are liberals. Like, I know that I negatively talked about liberals on this stream, but I am friends with liberal people, and but they are the good kind of liberals, the true liberals that want to liberate people, and really care truly for human rights. So, like, I really hate that there are ego-based liberals that are bringing down or degrading that sort of liberals, because we could live with that sort of liberal people, and it's important that people think differently from you so that you can understand where you have flaws or uh, where you're unbalanced and so on, so it's important that you talk to people with different mindsets and so on, but yeah, you gotta make sure that they are they have common sense. Okay. Anyone? Huh? Conservatives are taking over Sweden. Was it? Sweden? なんかあったっけ？選挙があったっけ？ねえ、election?
反移民が、極って言われてるけど、
yeah.
反移民の政党がナンバー2
Anti-immigrant party in the second place. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, this has become long, so I'm gonna go now. Thank you guys for sticking till the end. Gonna go, and yeah, soon I hope that we can make a video, but I'm actually busy for some reason recently with like making videos. It's like I have to translate first, translate the script that my husband prepares, and then make a speech in front of my camera and edit and put Japanese subtitles, make a thumbnail, and then upload and share. And then there's so many stages and it takes time. So yeah. And also there's an interview coming up too, and I have to prepare for that too. So yeah. Oh man, I want time for games. But anyway. Yoko stay, thank you. Thank you, Yoko. Thank you, guys. I appreciate every single one of you. Yes, yes. Next time is we can do. Yes, I can come online again next week around the same time. So make sure to subscribe to this channel. And Yoko stay. No, Yoko is leaving. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Ice cream. Oh yeah, let's eat an ice cream afterwards. Thank you guys so much, and I will talk to you in a week. Okay, so have a great day or have a great night. Sweet dreams. Okay, bye. Wait.